This is an illustration of the fourth point we want to make on ways to improve profitability. And this is pretty obvious. I think most general contractors understand, and most professional consulting organizations that have large-scale projects. When you meet and review kind of where you stand, let's say you think you're about a third or a half a way through the project or something like that, and it's a fairly large, in my context here, in the context of complex projects, large-scale projects. Perhaps they span more than 1 year. They carry over from the prior year. The point is that the software needs to provide an ability for you at any point in time to enter into the system what you estimate the cost will be from this point forward. If you're about a third of the way through the project, the question is, taking into account the variances against actual versus estimate, what's it going to take to finish the job? And this is so important because it affects the calculation of an accurate percent complete calculation. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's an example. Our definitions that we use are shown on your screen, and I'm going to show you a WIP report in just a minute. Our percent complete calculation, and this is true for anybody in the building any kind of a project, or whether it's a consulting job or a major shopping mall or whatever, your percent complete at any point in time is going to be what your total committed costs are as of now, divided by the sum of those current committed costs, including approved open purchase orders, plus what the estimate is to complete the job. When you get that kind of a calculation made, then you can apply that against your contract value for the revenue that you've earned so far at this point in time in the project. And obviously the difference between the revenue earned and the committed costs at this point in time would be the profit that you can accurately represent as what you've done so far as of this point in time. Now, once you've done that, the total profit for the given project can be forecasted, because now you've got a handle on the contract value, obviously, and by contract value we include any approved change orders, so that you subtract from that contract value committed costs to date plus your estimate of the remaining cost to complete. Well, let's put this all together and look at it in terms of the software. We provide in the job cost master editor of our software under the estimating tab, and you can use any estimating software you want to bring your estimates in. The point is, you see the column that my mouse is, I just put a little arbitrary record in here so it could call your eye, you could focus on that column. You have both an original estimate for all the labor costs, subcontractor costs, and the way you read this is you start down this column, original, and then you just go over here and continue down to material costs, equipment costs, etc. So we added this. At this point in time on this particular project, it's going to take another $1 million in subcontractor work, and it's going to take $200,000 more in material costs, or $750,000 more in material costs, etc. Where's all this come to play? Well, here's a work in progress report in our software, and what you're seeing here at the top, keeping in mind the definitions I gave you a minute ago, here's that estimate to complete this particular project, about $2.6 million. So of this $5.2 million contract, even though we had an original estimate of 3.4, based upon our review today, the estimated cost to complete is going to be about $2.6 million. So obviously, if I take the original contract value of $5.2 million and I subtract from that the sum of the estimate to complete plus what I've actually committed so far. And over here on the far right, under the column that's called committed costs, you're seeing about $1.2 million in committed costs. So $1.2 million plus $2.6 million is subtracted from $5.2 million, so it looks like we're going to have a total estimated profit for the total project when we get done based upon where we are today, of about $1.3 million. Now, the percent complete calculation, I've already been through that. We can apply that at this point in time to the contract value to get a revenue earned. In this particular case, we've got revenue that's come in from prior years and current years, where you see my little mouse cursor, the magnifying glass. So we've earned about $1.6 million. And from this number, I subtract the committed costs as of now to get a snapshot of what the profit is as of today, before we get into spending all this money we're estimating it's going to take to complete the job. So this is basically, I want to make you aware of the fact that this kind of level of reporting all goes back to the fact that if you can estimate in your software what it's going to take to complete a job, it's extremely crucial to calculating in the real world what the forecast of your profitability ultimately may be. This ends this particular demo.